We actually have forum, so welcome everybody. Let's get started.
Thank you.
The first thing we're gonna do tonight is welcome Tunnels to Towers back, so thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You ended up here because we don't meet in August, and transportation was a robust meeting this week.
Yeah.
So welcome, we're happy to have you. Tell us what's, introduce yourself and tell us what's new.
Thanks. Three things. I'm Susan Starr. I am Senior Director of the Tunnel to Towers 2 signature events. Those are our annual New York City Run and our New York City Stair Pilot 1 Year Trade. I thank you for your time and continued support, and it was such a pleasure to be here. Just saying for anybody who doesn't know who we are, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was started in memory of FDNY firefighter Stephen Siller. Stephen was a young father of 5 who had just gotten off of work on 9/11 and was on his way to play golf with his brothers when he heard on the scanner that the first plane had hit the towers. So with that, Stephen turned around. He went back to Squad 1. Truck had already left, so he grabbed his gear, put it in his personal vehicle, and drove to the mouth of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, where he discovered it was closed for security reasons. Stephen put his keys on the front seat of his truck, strapped 60 pounds of gear on his back, and ran through the tunnel to the towers, where he gave up his life, saving others with so many other innocents and heroes that day. So that's why we are the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The Siller family's philosophy, and one that is embraced by all who work for the foundation, is it is better to light a candle than curse the darkness. So our mission is to do good. We are dedicated to honoring our military and first responders who continue to serve and make the supreme sacrifice of life and limb for our communities and our country. I'd like to take a few minutes to update you guys on where we stand as a foundation and what we've been able to accomplish, especially in the past year with your continued support. To honor the lives lost on September 11th, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation established our In the Line of Duty program, which provides mortgage-free homes or mortgage payoffs to Gold Star and fallen first responder families with young children. We build or renovate specially adapted smart homes for catastrophically injured veterans and first responders. In the calendar year 2023, Tunnel to Towers delivered over 200 mortgage-free homes to America's heroes in 37 different states across the country. To date, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has delivered over 1,000 mortgage-free homes to our nation's heroes and committed over $500 million across all of our programs. In order to introduce our latest program, which is our Tunnel to Towers Homeless Veterans Initiative, I have a video. Zach, if we could share that with the
No, it's there.
Okay. Let's be safe. Darn.
We're gonna just give us a sec.
It's there. It is. Oh, there we go. Okay.
When I'm traveling in different cities across our nation, I see veterans who have served our country living on the streets, desperately in need of help, and it breaks my heart. When they were in the military, no one would dare to leave them behind. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is making another promise. We are committed to eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Veteran homelessness has become an epidemic, and we believe the problem is larger than currently reported. T2T estimates this number to be in excess of 50,000 in the United States. We all know the physical injuries that our service members have endured, but many also have unseen wounds like PTSD, TBI, and addictions. The solution is giving them a place to call home. But beyond that, it's the ability to offer them the comprehensive services they need within a community of healing to reclaim their lives. In order to end homelessness amongst our veterans, we have started building these veteran residences like this one in Houston, and now we're building them all across America. We are counting on every American to join us on our mission. T2T has already helped more than 1,000 Gold Star and fallen first responder families by paying off their mortgages. And we've been building mortgage-free smart homes for our catastrophically injured veterans and first responders. This commitment remains. We have a proven track record of helping our heroes, and now we're expanding our mission. We made a promise to never leave our first responders and military families behind. But now we need your help even more. Join us on this mission to lift up these veterans who need a helping hand, to provide them with the services they need to rebuild their lives and recapture their dignity. These heroes fought for us, and now we're fighting for them. Go to T2T.org to learn how you could change a veteran's life forever. God bless you.
Okay.
Great. So in 2022, we initiated our Homeless Veterans Program with the goal of eradicating veteran homelessness nationwide. We do that by providing a stable home and a wide range of support services to address individual emotional, financial, and physical issues. By the end of the 2023 calendar year, more than 3,300 veterans received housing and support services from the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. In November, Tunnel to Towers opened our first Veterans Village in Houston, Texas. That village is a 120-unit former hotel that has been converted into a combination of transitional and permanent housing. It also offers wraparound services on site to support our veterans. I apologize, introduce my colleague Stephanie Whitty, who is our Associate Vice President of Events, and she'd like to just touch base on the 3 additional groundbreakings that we've done for Veterans Villages.
So this year alone, we have broken ground in Bradenton, Florida, for our veterans villages. We've broken ground in Atlanta, Georgia, obviously. And next week, we're breaking ground in Memphis. We also have 2 or 3 more slated to break ground in the next couple of months. And we may do an opening or 2 at the end of this year. So we are moving at the speed of light. And we really appreciate you guys letting us be here. So thank you.
So,
No, keep going.
all right, about the foundation. By keeping administrative costs low, we currently are able to continue to allocate 95.1 cents of every dollar directly to our programs and services. For 9 years running, Tunnel to Towers has achieved the highest rating of 4 stars from Charity Navigator. Charity Navigator is the nation's largest and most utilized evaluator of charities. And for those of you who don't know, Frank Siller remains an uncompensated volunteer. Oh, here's where we've been introducing Stephanie.
That's okay. Jump the gun, you know that.
So about our annual 23rd annual Tunnel to Towers New York City Run. As per the City of New York, we are scheduled for the last Sunday of September, so that will be Sunday, September 9th this year. As I said, it's our foundation's signature event. Our load-in date in Manhattan will be Saturday, the 28th. The event is again Sunday, the 29th. With regard to transportation, we provide free water taxi service from Pier 11 Wall Street over to IKEA in Brooklyn. And we have about 8,000 people taking advantage of that, the water taxi, just to try to cut down on people trying to get into the city in automobiles. As always, our event kicks off with an 8:30 a.m. pre-wave that includes our catastrophically injured service members. The run officially starts at 9:30 a.m. and our final wave is estimated to kick off at 10:40 a.m. in Brooklyn over to Manhattan. The festivities on Vesey Street start at 10 a.m. and should be over by 1:30, at which point we begin to strike immediately. That includes our banner procession. So we have 406 banners, and we always did, positioned on the Manhattan side of the UL Perry Tunnel. Those banners represent the 406 first responders that were killed on 9/11. In addition, what we have added are those who have lost their lives, first responders who have lost their lives through 9/11 related illness, and all of those who have lost their lives in the global war on terror. So those banners line the run route from starts on the Manhattan side plaza, UL Perry Tunnel, and it extends up Liberty and along the run route on the S49. Our headliner, I wish I could tell you who it is, but it will be an A-list country band. I will let you know as soon as I'm able to announce that. And the headliner usually plays for approximately 1 hour, and it should be about 12:20 to about 1:20. After that, we break down as quickly as possible. Can I answer any questions?
Just remind me the route again,
Okay.
please.
Yes, please, of course. So we start in Brooklyn on Woodhull and enter the Hero Perry Tunnel. We come out on the Manhattan side, right on West Street, left onto Liberty. Then we proceed onto the Esplanade. Runners proceed along the Esplanade. They make a right at, I call it the gazebo. That's at Warren Street. So they cross Warren Street right onto West, and the finish line is on Murray, on West at Murray. There's a 1 block walk off, and then the festivities, we have everybody on Bessie Street between West and North End.
Okay, thank you. So just needed to get.
I'm gonna ask 3 questions again. No bullhorns in the residential neighborhood. Right,
You got it.
not on Liberty, not over in front of the buildings by the Esplanade on the north end, correct?
Correct.
Bullhorns access because your run is during the sports season at the ball fields, so just to make sure that there's pedestrian access for people to be able to cross. I know that the med tents at one point were near the bike lanes or in the bike lanes and the crosswalks on West Street, maybe 3 years ago. Just want to confirm that there's access from Brookfield North through that,
Breezeway.
Goldman Alley Breezeway,
Correct.
all the way to the ball fields, and that the pedestrian and bike paths are open.
Correct. Yes, confirmed. Actually, I'd like to mention as well, because the event has grown. This year, we've been to Bessie multiple times and have removed everything that we possibly could remove from the street. So in the past, we've had some tents out there where we're distributing T-shirts to people, we do a free T-shirt with a bib. Those are gone. Our sponsor tents are gone. The only thing that remains are, I want to say it's 5 real tents that were always there. Sand sculpture, maybe it's the guys last year. There are things that people that come back every year for 23 years, it tugs at the heartstrings. But we wanted to clear everything possible so that we have as much space for bodies and fewer structures on the street. In addition, we have done a full restaurant buyout at Seymour's and a full restaurant buyout at Elvez, so that we can push 600 to 800 people off the street and into those restaurants to make room. We're trying to look for
How many people are you then?
how many people are we total?
10,000?
No, more. Actually, on Bessie Street, I think it's only about 5,000.
Really?
Because they don't,
People leave.
they believe
They don't
it's a
stay.
very long day.
Yeah.
How many are registered for that?
So I can let you know that number when we know. We did just open registration, but we're looking at that 20 to 25,000 range. Registered paid. That's grown from 1,500 23 years ago. So it's grown exponentially. Yes,
I have other questions. I'll let other people ask questions because I do have like maximum capacity and all kinds of. But I'll wait. Anybody else in the room have any other questions?
How long is the run distance?
It's approximately a 5K.
Okay.
It's not a standard 5K, so anybody, I guess if you're a runner, they're qualifying races, and this isn't one of those. This is
Oh, I'm
about
certainly
5.
not. I think about it all the time. No,
You can skip if you would like.
I was gonna suggest it to a friend of mine that's better.
It's, truth be told, our runners are in the first wave. There are 5,000 chipped runners. Everyone else, it's much more of an experience, much more of a healing
They walk,
experience,
yeah.
a celebration.
It's a walk, it's a jog and a walk, it's, a lot of that.
How many did you have last year?
Since everyone isn't chipped, that is the only way I would know.
I see.
We actually did, I really thought it would be light last year. Attendance was excellent last year. It was pouring rain for days.
Yeah, days.
And so what was the attendance last year?
So I don't have a way of having a head count. I can tell you that because you have to have a chip in order for it to set off the
Yeah.
strip.
They don't
So-
serve anyone who isn't registered to run.
So you can buy a chip and be in the first wave, otherwise you're not chipped, so I can't head count in that way.
I think you can ship as a walker too. I think I've done that, or that's not just runners. Maybe I've always signed up as a.
Just we put the runners in
Walk,
the
walk.
walk.
Yeah.
You got a chip and you walk.
Yeah,
What is the cost?
The cost is $55.
It's an amazing
Do
experience.
we have questions online? Debbie? Anybody? The only last question that I would have is if we're at that point from an event perspective that you need to lose sponsorship tents and giveaway tents, because your numbers are so great, that's amazing in one aspect. In another aspect, starts to become, how big does this get before you've outgrown the neighborhood? We remember that the 9/11 site has thus far not been open to you, but perhaps, and yes, people love running along the water, I get that. But perhaps there might be, for next year or the year after, need to be a dialogue. Because if you're getting 20 to 23,000 runners and walkers, and only 5,000 people can really hang out on Vesey Street. And while I understand it's a flow, it's still a lot.
Yes, this is really in anticipation of the fact that we've been growing each year. So we're looking to cut it off at the pass, to not have issues, with y'all, to not really overstay our welcome and to not be a part of this amazing thing in your neighborhood. So,
And you have that second, if I remember, there was a band kind of on West Street. You know, I remember at one year there was, as the running route comes around,
Oh.
it goes around Warren and then comes back up.
This
There
is their
was.
last year, Zavarian.
Hmm.
Apparently they've been here for way longer than I have. I want to say 23 years. I'm not sure if that's actually accurate. They've been here but they've been there a long time. So this is their last hurrah. That's the only band that'll be making noise. You actually used to have some over on the Esplanade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
some like little small.
We remember.
school
yeah,
bands.
school bands, right, yeah.
That's all been eliminated.
Would you mind posting posters in front of the residential buildings? A week before, so people know.
Posters for,
Just saying there's gonna be the tunnel
The
wall
Towers race.
race that begins and the day.
yes, so a couple of the things that I do is and of course we can do that. I work with Battery Park City Authority, Desiree Beach and NYPD First, and I understand that they're able to also e-blast.
Yes. That's not the same.
But
I know it's
the
not the
same.
same, so we can certainly
Yeah.
expand coverage. I appreciate you saying that, but
yeah,
for that reason.
and asking to have signage posted at the ball fields for families who are participating in using the sports fields a week out would be really helpful.
Just so they know it's gonna be a bit of a hassle getting there.
Yeah, they can leave extra time to get to the league for
Yeah.
games. That's just,
So I want to just point out that I'm glad you're in touch with the Battery Park City Authority. With the Northwest Battery Park City Resilience Project, that's going to start up in 2025, maybe 2026. It's going to just decimate.
I've been
Esplanade.
waiting for it.
I
Check in every year.
Okay, to see. All right, so you're aware. What do you guys, do you even have a clue? What are you going to do?
for the 25th.
I think that is, as Tammy said, that's a dialogue.
Yeah,
So yes, lots of ideas, but what,
yeah, I don't have an
obviously
idea,
it has
but
to balance public safety with the event, with the impact on the community, and keeping the streets, getting reopened as quickly as possible.
yeah.
So I guess my last question has to do with attire,
Oh, dress.
dress attire. So do you give out? Just kind of wondering, it's a large number of people, right? So how do people know who's running? Are they, do runners wear t-shirts? Do runners wear bibs? Is there any kind of dress code that they have, things they can or they cannot wear?
Runners wear bibs, So you have to have a bib to get through the security checkpoint. In order to enter the corrals in Brooklyn, you have to go through the security checkpoint at Coffee Park. Every single person is checked. Every single person has to have a bib on. Those bibs are in a database. This way I can put a number in, anybody can put a number in, law enforcement, and know who you are or who that participant is. Otherwise, you don't get into the corrals, you can't get through the start line, you can't get into the tunnel. We do give out t-shirts. It's not required that people wear them. Beyond that, our cadet groups, for instance, West Point sends 1,500 to 2,000 cadets who are signs up. It's voluntary. We do get a large amount of them. They're required to wear their PE uniform. This way we can see who they are. So if they're not wearing a bib, which by the way, West Point is also wearing a bib, but those large groups also, they do wear uniforms.
But there's no like, you cannot wear this, you cannot wear that.
No, there is a prohibited items list. So for instance, you can't have a Scott Air Pack. So there are things like that. They do wear, some people like to wear the turnout coat, firefighter gear. And they can. But things like Scott Air Packs, that is, we work with law enforcement on things
What
like
is
that.
that?
It is like a breathing apparatus.
Oh,
So
for
it's a
the,
big giant tank, and I
Yeah.
can only assume that we don't know what's in there, and they're not wearing that in the tunnel or along the road.
Okay, there you go, okay.
Alrighty, anybody, if nobody has anything else, then I would propose we do a resolution as we have done in the.
Tammy, sorry, it's Alice. I have a quick question. I just heard about the dress code. I'm just curious. Is there any, when you say anything goes, so you could wear any kind of political statement, you can be running with, pro whoever your candidate is, T-shirts and such, just curious.
I guess, and I haven't seen it as an issue.
No.
I do understand the political climate. We certainly are all glued to the TV and the news.
Okay.
Um,
In an election year, it's a good question.
it's a good question.
Yeah,
Could you,
okay, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, thanks.
How about I elaborate a little bit in case it,
yeah,
on security?
I'm
So-
afraid I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
I'd like to elaborate just a bit on security. If that brings, I think that might bring us some comfort with regard to if we notice something. And who might be noticing that and how it might be mitigated if we feel a problem is arising. So, the planning process is always a year long. We work with 14 agencies in both boroughs, including the US Army. Counterterrorism, we just did an event on June 2nd, a tower climb at One World Trade. And, the resources were extraordinary to the point where I actually came out into broad daylight because I work mostly inside the building. It's an inside building. I came out and I had to ask, is there a problem?
yeah,
There isn't. NYPD is wonderful. So, in addition, we have, and the list keeps growing, but 172 private security in addition to hundreds of NYPD counterterrorism, Brooklyn South, Manhattan South. It's, planning is impressive, beyond impressive.
go ahead, about the security. Okay, so it's
Yes.
great to hear all the security you have. How, are there security checkpoints or what are those people, how does that happen?
Yes, so in order to get into the run, you're coming through a security checkpoint where every single person is checked. And that starts in Brooklyn. So
Okay.
you have to enter through the security checkpoint in
Okay.
Brooklyn off the Dwight Street. That's where the security entrance is. So everyone is checked there.
Okay.
Perfect. Does anybody else have any other questions while we're here, so I can? No. So let's take a look at a draft resolution. I'm looking at, what we did last year. Yep, it'll get to me in just a second. But basically it starts with, same, I can put it up. Same for you, won't need to put it up.
no, I don't, I mean,
It's basically everything that we've done, that they've said here. 20,000 participants, 20 to 25 this year. And the tunnel reopens traffic at 12:30, right? Ferry.
Yeah.
And that West Street southbound will reopen around 2. That is still the same.
And northbound's always open, right?
There's a section of northbound that is closed from approximately 8 AM until 12 noon.
Put that in.
So northbound opens more quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. We've talked about, the bike path being open, we've talked about sidewalk access being open all up and down on West Street.
Baseball, yeah.
Yeah.
And access to the fields. Route and entertainment are the same as last year's, portable bathrooms will be provided. New information this year is you're buying out both restaurants, right? So that is new, because.
Are
And
they serving food in there too? Oh, wow.
For the, I would imagine if it with the chip,
You need to have a bib or something.
something.
are you gonna buy out Del Frisco's as well, do you think, or no, that's not.
Not this year. Not this year, but we're talking about it. So, it seems to be the right thing to do. It seems to be a win-win for those in the area, for business owners, for us as well. And we are bringing in a lot of our program participants, and many of them are having need ADA accommodation.
And then they
so
go soon.
they're much safer inside.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, in addition, a lot of them do have, just for those that don't know, they do have temperature control issues, they have some TBI, there's a lot of TBI, so we want them to feel safe, we want them to feel protected. Because often they don't, even in what we call normal situations.
Right, but this is a crowd.
Yes.
It's stressful.
Yes.
It's good, but it's stressful.
Great, got it. So with all of that,
I can call the question.
why, thank you.
At any time.
Right, so let's take a vote. I'm gonna go by affirmation, so if there's anyone who is a no, hearing and seeing none online, are there any abstentions? Recusals? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
again, welcome.
Thank
around.
you.
And, we'll see you around.
See you around.
Thank you, yeah.
And I can see a couple of copies in your future.
It's not yet.
It's lots of coffee. Always. In my past, present, and future.
Exactly.
They-
Alrighty, so let's kind of keep it tight and move along.
I don't-
We're gonna go to 130 West Broadway, which is our first. Susan, pardon me. We're going to 130 West Broadway, which is our application for dining out sidewalk cafe.
Yes.
We're gonna welcome Sushi Afghani Tribeca team. Yes. Hi, welcome. Hop over to the table, introduce yourself.
Hi,
Welcome you and congratulations. You are our first under the new program.
thank you. My name is Yumi, it's Master Guy Group, the Vice President, and also we are operating the 4 locations for the Manhattan Sushi Guy Group. So one of the ones will be.
I know you're nervous.
Slow. Talk a little slow, that's all.
It's okay.
This time it's we apply for this is very first time, so we never know
understand.
how to, yes. So what should I tell?
Okay,
Yes.
so everybody has the application in front of them.
Right.
So, Susan, I'm gonna let you take it away as you normally would, because this is Sidewalk Cafe, so please.
Well, Francis and I, we do it as a
I will tell you is in front of the committee and is available, is we have
Our
the
new guidelines.
2019 application for their liquor license attached for
And the 2020.
and the 2020 Sidewalk Cafe license that we agreed to, right, with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so and there's stipulation sheets. So we have everything here that shows what we have done and said with them in the past. So I'm gonna ask you, because this is in front, if you can tell us what your hours of operation are and what your seating is like.
It's right now is the Tuesday through Thursday, from the 5 PM to 9:45 PM.
Tuesday through Thursday.
Yes, 5 PM through 9:45 PM. And the Friday and the Saturday, 5:30 PM through 10:15 PM.
Any reason you just curious. Can you do the hour like 10 o'clock? Is there a reason that it's 10:15 and not 10? Curious.
Well, you can consider about it, but however, the neighbor is always coming late. It's for the, mostly the busiest time is 9 PM, after the 9 PM. So we used to be the open from the 5 PM through the 9:45 PM, or even a Friday and a Saturday.
What she's saying is, instead of 45 or 15, how about just 10 PM?
15 minutes cut.
Or
10:30.
Or 10:30.
Yeah,
Or 10:30, yeah, which is weird.
Well,
15 is weird.
because the 10:15 is the door closed, the 10:30 is the last call.
I got it.
Okay, that's fine.
Let it be, let it
And
be.
then you're not doing service Sunday and Monday?
No.
No,
The diagram that you sent,
no, just Sundays they're not doing. Mondays they're doing.
Monday, this is Monday. through
Monday.
Oh,
Saturday.
no, they don't have it. So no Mondays
No
anymore.
Mondays.
So no service,
Mondays.
Sunday and Monday.
okay. And then, pardon?
I have a question for.
Well, I have a question.
It's okay.
So this is, I want to be very clear what we're talking about. So this is only the outdoor.
This is, no, that is the time range is for the business hours, normal business hours, but the outdoor seating is closed by, 8:30.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, but you're only here though with DOT for your sidewalk.
Sidewalk.
For the
So,
outside.
so what are the hours that you say you're gonna do sidewalk then, just so we now know it's not?
From the 5 PM, Tuesday through the Thursday, the 5 PM to 8:30.
So let's get it straight.
And then on Friday, Saturday?
It's 5:30 through to 9.
Okay.
That's Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
And you're not doing anything on
Sunday.
maximum number of tables?
No. So my other question, so it's 5:30 to 8 PM?
8:30.
8:30.
Where?
Tuesday to Thursday,
8:30.
8:30. Okay, so my other question is, we talked about it in the other resolutions. Are you going to bring in or stack the tables and chairs? Yes.
Sorry, which one? Are you gonna stack them or are you gonna bring them
Thank you.
inside?
We have it on the sidewalk. You can see the picture that we sent for the earlier.
Yeah, it's in,
And, yeah, it's not this one, but the other side. We have the straight box. So that is every day, we going to put it inside and then put it outside. So it's a very
the
neat.
storage boxes outside?
Is that called the
Next
hatch?
of the garage.
Oh, storage. Okay, I see it. Do you have a plan for how the people that are sitting outside will go to the bathroom? Like, do they have a path where they won't be in the way of the servers or the people walking on the sidewalk?
That's a, sorry, I don't know, can I go there?
Yes, absolutely.
Whatever helps.
So you mean for the bathroom access?
Yeah.
When, I've often noticed when I sit outside places. So there's doors there.
Upstairs, and the doors can open and close all the time.
So it's like a wall that kind of opens?
Yes, it's just like a door, like the one French door.
Oh.
Just only one side, but it's accessible and also the compliant ADA as well.
So you don't have to walk on the sidewalk.
Right.
Oh, thank you.
It's going to be side for a restaurant and go over there, side here, that's for the bathroom.
Okay, cool.
And the servers go in and out the same place?
Yes. And open here.
The railing is there, and then there's that hatch. It feels like it's hard to get through that.
So the way that the rulings for outdoor dining work is
That's
the
the
waiters
side,
need
that's
to
the
come from
computer.
inside. They can't go and serve around the outside to go onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Understand what I mean?
No, this is only side, it's for, there's a space, but it's only for the customer to get out.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I have a question.
Yes.
When did you build the storage unit in front of your building?
How big is it?
Did you have to go through like, DOB, like when was it built and how was it built? Were there permits? Because I've never seen anything like it. I'm just curious.
It's for like a garbage, for the store the garbage stuff, because the law changed, so that we have to, the garbage bin in the.
Yes, I'm aware of it, and we weren't allowed to build anything or put anything outside except for the actual rolling carts that they provided.
Yes.
But they wouldn't let us enclose it on the front of the building. I'm just curious how you got permission to build this thing.
Which one, this one?
The storage unit where you put things, yeah.
Can you check?
I just thought that,
No, I'm talking about the chairs and tables. When you're not taking them inside, you're putting them in some sort of storage unit you built on the outside of the store. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Just curious how you, did you get permitted to be able to do that?
Oh, this is.
Street for we put it for the garbage for container to outside, that is for the apply for it's arrow to outside the 36, 3 foot, 36 inch, right? For the storage unit things. That's why there is for the big storage, that's why we going to see for the chair too.
This is the garbage.
So if you necessarily to put it inside, we can do that, but there's some space for the.
No, we're not asking you to do that.
Basically using some of their.
Their garbage.
Like a table that could
And they
be
made
there.
it the
So you're
similar
putting this
size,
half there,
so
right.
it's in a sense of camouflage, it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's just, we just trying to understand
Okay.
it, that's all, that's what they did.
That makes
They,
sense. I
they
had it
took
backwards.
more of their
Okay.
space.
And that was, so, yeah.
Okay,
This is Jonathan.
So people
Yeah.
are
And that's
good.
the-
I see,
that's what the-
Alice, you have a hand up online?
Yeah, thanks, Tammy. Let's put the screen on. Yeah, just a couple of questions. Yeah, I couldn't make out the answer to, I think it was Trisha's question that was curious to me too. I live not too far from your restaurant, so I can't afford to go there. But anyway, I just was curious what that, yeah, the storage, how did you get the, maybe this has been already said, and I just wouldn't mind identifying it in the resolution, but whatever that approval process to have that storage unit on the street would be interesting to know. And additionally, the vestibule that I see has been removed is, and that's to your entrance, that I assume is only for the winter. Was that something that, and I'd love to get clarity, Tammy, I know we discussed this, as to whether that vestibule that is not appearing right now, but does appear certainly at most seasons. How did you get approval for that? I looked at the DOB site, I don't see it. So it's something that I think we should, better understand, or at least I'd like to.
That's you, that's the front, right?
Yeah, that's.
That blue box is an addition on that I'm curious about how you got.
This one's a.
maybe you didn't hear when we.
So.
I can't hear anything practically, sorry, and there's a lot of chatter, just so you know.
Alice, hang on a sec.
Yeah.
The blue entryway is only up for the winter, correct?
Correct. Winter time, we
And-
never open the window.
Okay, so I'd like to know what months what is it up for? What are the months?
What the month?
Yeah.
When do they have it up?
So the concern we have is sidewalk seating is now all year.
Not all year.
It can be, yes.
Yes.
So if you are doing sidewalk seating, right? And you can't actually have people come in and out of the open doors because you're going to freeze people in the winter inside. We know this because you built the vestibule in the winter, right? Right. So the question is, one, will you do outdoor seating at all in the cold weather?
We don't do the cold weather.
Okay,
That
Definitely.
should be in our resolution.
My point here, Susan and Tammy, and whoever's listening, I feel strongly, and I've seen this box out there for a long time. I'd like clarity from DOT or DOB if this is allowed. If it is allowed, then whatever the agreement is, when it becomes removed, but it takes up a great deal of the sidewalk there, as you can see from this picture, and it should be acknowledged that it's supposed to come down in X or Y month or go up. And again, what approval process did this have? Because I thought that these things definitely did have to have approval. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Jason's here and knows this, but I did not think that that's something you don't get a permit for. So that's the question. And I would like it identified in the resolution as to when it will be going down, and that in fact it has an approval if it didn't need one. That's all.
It's not covering the walkway, Alice.
Alice, it's a 20-foot sidewalk, so it does not impede further than the outdoor cafe is.
Right.
It's actually shorter than that. And it's not under the jurisdiction or purview of DOT if they're telling us that they will not have any sidewalk seating during what months?
Between May through, could be October, beginning October.
You will have.
Right.
It just means
Yeah, you will have outdoor seating from May to October.
Yes.
Maybe.
And maybe less if it's too cold.
But,
And then-
but starting November goes through April.
Right.
Okay.
Then going to install that. It's just through from the November through April.
That's correct.
I'm just, there are other restaurants that do this sort of thing, and you can imagine that as a precedent, you would have every restaurant in New York wanting to add on approximately, whatever this is, 200 square feet, 100 square feet, whatever it is of space. And all I'm saying is that I don't think that as a community, we should be supporting this particular arrangement by saying you can have the sidewalk cafe and a new entry for the winter without someone, being sure it's actually a legal thing. And I'm not so sure I would support it. So, but that's neither here nor there. I just want to know that that this is something that's been approved by the city.
Alice?
Okay.
So these are regulated by the Department of Buildings. There are rules for them as far as size, as far as what materials can be made, they can be made out of. I think they are self-approved. I'm not positive on that, but I think, if you want to learn more, I think we should have Department of Buildings come in and talk about it at a separate meeting.
Okay, it is not approved by the DOB and their DOB site, just so you know. And it's an important point that we take up sidewalk space all the time for so many things. We'll be taking up much more of it, as we all know, with all of the sidewalk cafes and all of the link towers and coming 5G towers and so many things. So I just think we need to be conscious of the.
Alice, I got you. So here's what I'm proposing, and unmute when I get my proposal out, okay? What we can put on here, I'm not sensing any objections from the room. I haven't heard, although, other than you, I see Betty has her hand up, so I'll come to Betty afterwards. But my suggestion would be on here is to note that the applicant has said they will not be doing sidewalk seating between November and April, and to request from DOT an updated floor plan if and when they choose to do outdoor sidewalk seating as of right during those months. What will it look like with the enclosure?
In the winter.
In the winter, because they will need to do, let's just say we have an Indian summer in December for a week, and you decide to put tables and chairs out, you will already have the vestibule. You will need to provide us with a new diagram for us to approve this, because we understand you probably will have winterized the wall and not open it. So does that address your concerns, Alice?
Not entirely. It's a very simple point. This is either a legal or illegal structure according to the laws of the city of New York. And either the community has, let me finish, approved or not. And it's as simple as that. And they are stating they remove it in the summer. I'm just simply asking when that gets removed. What are the dates? If they're keeping it up all year, that's fine. If it's legal and it's been approved, then it's a case closed. I'm just pointing out that I don't recall this ever being done. I don't see it in the Department of Building website, and it opens up a can of worms in my mind for our sidewalks generally in the community. And that's all. And I think we should acknowledge that one committee member wanted to know this. If you don't mind putting it in.
Yeah, no, I still agree with Alice. I think it's probably, we're trying to focus on the sidewalk cafe and I get it. But I do think, we've got a situation right next to this with Citibank, who has another appendage at the front of the building. We are like, all this public space suddenly has all of these private
So,
structures.
so I just want to point out that Max and Edwards next door also do that same exact thing.
Yeah, no, but they might
That's
be.
right.
Only point.
But what we looked it up
Uh-huh.
in the office, and what we saw online was that there is a thing about seasonal entrances, and that they are allowed to be constructed in New York. There's not like a permit, a process.
Or an approval.
Or an approval. You can report them for being against the guidelines and codes. And they probably just have to notify DOB that they're putting it up.
So anybody could build this because they want it without a permit?
There are guidelines.
Okay, and then are always enforced by people reporting it.
But we
That's
don't,
interesting.
there's more details
That's as
that
we understood it.
that we don't know. There's a lot of specifics to it. If we want to hear more, we should have DOB in to
I'd
talk.
like to request that in the resolution that one committee member was asking that there's confirmation that this particular structure next to the proposed sidewalk cafe is something that is in fact a legal structure. That's all. I mean, I don't think is that going to be controversial? I'm just pointing this out so we're on record having noted it.
Yes, fine, okay.
Thank
Okay.
you, Susan.
I call the
Thank you.
question.
Wait,
Wait, not, please don't second that call to question because Betty has her hand up. I'm being very patient. Betty?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I agree with Alice, and I'm very concerned when I look at, one, I think we very soon need to have somebody come in from DOB and DOT, because I want to know how this is different from getting revocable consent. Where to do anything on the sidewalk or the street, you need the DOT's permission to take up space. So I think
got
that
it.
point needs to be clarified. As well as that creates the other problem of the pathway into the space for the outside seating, but it needs to be more than just saying that one person being Alice. It's, in general, I think it's a problem and a concern.
I think that we don't put it as one person because I never think that that's it. We all agree that it goes on there. Is that, CB1 requests that DOT confirm with the Department of Buildings that the seasonal structure at the entrance is legal.
Yeah, has been approved.
Has been approved. And in another whereas, we ask that the DOT must have an applicant provide diagrams with the structure,
Like seats and the structure?
with the structure, yep,
Oh, so
Or-
if they're gonna do it in the winter, or when?
Like put a box.
for winter dining.
Okay, for winter.
Right, but it affects access, because if you remember, you cannot serve from the outside of the railing in.
So
It has to be
wait.
the service
Inside, you
entry
must
has
be,
to
have
be-
to come in.
They have
It's
these
tough for
doors,
them to
right?
say they're not gonna do
Are they opening the doors in the winter when the,
Oh,
And that's what we're going
wait,
to.
are they serving it? I thought you
They're not
said
serving
serving outside.
they're not serving in the cold weather, but what happens if it's warm out and it's 65 degrees in November?
They can't do it.
They can't do, they have a giving them.
That's the thing. Once we approve this, it is 365.
But wait a minute.
So why would
It
you have
is,
the door?
even though,
What is it?
they have, even though,
Have a door.
I want to just clarify that they have assured us that they are not going to do it. And it is in our stipulation
When they're going to have this set up.
that
It's
they
gonna
will
be-
be closed.
My understanding that DOT has
Says,
said,
if I say, oh, I'm gonna do whatever I want, I'm going to DOT. I get to do it, and my stipulation doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. What's the point?
I'm sorry.
So, but wait, something else, those white doors that are there, they are open.
Stipulations, stop for a second. Stipulations.
That they open too.
Justine, then I come.
But then I get
This is we're not gonna open.
No, because that's winter time. You're not using it.
But that,
Yeah,
but
but if you're sitting outside.
the point here is that
In
if that
April,
opens, if that white door opens, as she says, and they want to serve, they don't have to go outside, they go out that white door.
Yeah, but that's when they.
If they're gonna do it, but they're
but
saying
then
they're
we
not
need a
going.
diagram that says that that is the service path that they will use and the access and egress path during the winter when the obstruction is up on the right.
Okay,
Do you
so
understand?
I think I get what you're saying. Do you mind if I repeat it back to you? I think I get it. So you're saying that they can't serve over the railing.
Right.
So if the railing is up and there's chairs, they have to serve through those French doors.
The white door.
Correct.
And so we need to put that in this.
Yeah.
That is the law. The law is they can't serve off the sidewalk. They have to.
So if they're gonna serve on the sidewalk at all, they have to have those French doors open. So then what is the
Well, no,
vestibule have
because
to
you
do?
can come out the front door of the restaurant if you look at the
But
diagram.
But they can't serve over the railing and those doors are on the
But-
other side of the railing.
No, they can come out of the entrance and go right here. Where it says hatch, they can walk over the hatch.
The hatch is on the ground.
It's, yeah,
May
I don't see it.
may I ask a question? Does DOT have authority over the state liquor authority?
no. So when they come for SLA, we can say that there is no alcohol service between April, between November to April. There is no alcohol outside. But if people sit there, just not serve alcohol.
We're not even gonna have anything for them to sit. They're closing it down.
It's a lovely day in April.
Oh, but then,
Okay.
okay.
So we just can't see.
Brendan,
Question. Let's be patient because it's going to throw us off.
and Betty's hand is up as well.
So right here, you're probably aware it floods every time it rains. Are y'all doing anything about that? Because, so on this corner, like that corner becomes a pond whenever it rains. Are y'all doing anything about that? Because my concern is that like if y'all start building out this area, like I have to go over that way to get over the pond.
That's on, is because of the city. We already complained so many times, 311 in the department, everyone too. You're gonna see that with the Bismarck, they came, and then they said that the sewer, they want to open up for the construction, going to rebuild or something, but they never.
Right.
Nobody will get in the
And
rest.
Single day, the farm we saw it, our dishwasher people is going to put the water out. But, you know, they're in the New York City where they got problem all the time. So it's very headache all the time, but we try our best to inform the restaurant to take it out, put a pond out. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about.
Yeah.
Okay, so Betty, you had your hand up?
Yes, I just want to say that my issue is much bigger than this particular application, so, but nevertheless, this is one example. People are completely forgetting somebody with a wheelchair. First of all, it's very difficult to get through the double doors of the kind of winter enclosure that they put in for their door. It's understandable as it is. I know I can't do them. But even if they go that path, nobody's questioning the route that would be used by somebody in a wheelchair who either is eating outside and wants to go to the bathroom inside, or just the service to be able to come to them using those paths. The route needs to be ADA compliant. It needs to not just be somebody can squeeze through.
So to go to the bathroom in the summertime, you would go through the French doors, right?
Yeah, which is fine, allegedly.
Yeah.
So, but are we stipulating that the French doors need to be open?
Let her finish, let her finish.
the door is located here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 inches for the ADA compliant for the space, and they can, and then we also, for the inside the restaurant, we have going to space for the 36 inch for the passing and also toilet is also ADA compliant. And then so, but if we,
Is it flat to get in and out?
yes, correct.
So what's the?
Less than the 1 inch, less than the 1 inch, that's the ADA compliant.
Yeah.
And then if you require to reducing the seat, like cut for this up and then up, apply for the ADA people to sitting and then next to the serving, easier to serving, you can do that too. We are not expecting too much seat, it's just only like 12 people.
Yes,
That's it.
yes.
So if you want to make reduce for the table, we can do that too. And so we just want to accommodate for the customer outside to eating, summertime only, so it's not too much expectation.
Right.
So
Does that answer your question, Betty?
Betty?
it doesn't answer what she.
Betty, you're
Different, it's broader. It's broad.
No, it really doesn't, because again, I understand, but people really don't understand the issue of what I'm talking about. So it sounds very simple about if I could just get up and walk, I could do these things. The ADA is broad, the limitations are broader than people think they are. Let me just put it that way.
So what would, so
Can you
can
tell
you
us?
help me understand?
Well, and she's
not
not
speaking
speaking specific to
Stop,
this.
stop. Let's let everybody have a chance to go. Vicky, you're next.
Oh, thank you. If you can just clarify for me, two things. Before this outdoor cafe stuff started to happen, I'm very familiar about how one applies for outdoor seating. So, now that outdoor seating is sort of a common thing, does this mean that this sketch, was submitted to the DOT for their approval? Do you need to send a drawing to the DOT the way we used to? It's a very long application. And as Betty says, this is also a corner. There are lots of rules about corners. There's, the ADA 3-foot clear. So I'm not sure. What is this sketch and who did this?
I'll answer
What?
that really quick. I'll give you a very quick and succinct answer. This is our first DOT approved application. So yes,
DOT approved this
Yes.
It's
with
really
these
not
dimensions and
DOT.
drawn like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, a horror show. Okay, it used to be much more restricted and clear and, following guides. Okay, thank you. I didn't know. Okay.
yeah, sorry.
So if DOT approved it already, why are they here? Oh, for the liquor license.
No.
No.
DOT approves the application and sends it to the community board for revocable consent.
Got it.
So this is our first revocable
Consent. And that's why we are being as specific as we are, because we want to make sure that all our bases are covered. And that is also why I think in this, we should mention the liquor aspect and the stipulation that has already been agreed upon. The serving of alcohol. No, why not?
They said they don't, we could say it, they just don't care.
I don't give a shit. I think we should
Okay, that's
say
fine.
it. Sorry.
So send me wording of how you want to write it. I'm fine with that.
I have to. think about
DOT
how
only
I-
cares about tables, chairs, the hours that they have laid out, which we're gonna say are different because of what the operator has already agreed with us.
Yes.
Where does the maitre d' stand and how do you pay? This all used to be questions that one had to answer.
So there's a community board recommendation form that everybody should see. This is what we have to fill out along with the resolution. Now, whatever you want in the resolution really has to go on this form. Right? It has to be, no, this one.
I'm looking for it.
So comments related to the physical footprint and dimensions have to have the conversation in here with the seasonal entrance that's added. comments related to the pedestrian flow, visibility, safety, potential crowding.
That goes in there. Right, isn't it here?
That's what she's reading to us from.
Right, so the physical foundation, footprint and dimensions, we're talking about the seasonal entrance, right? The service is only via the doors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about putting this on Duane Street, especially because they closed down in the summer and Keogh's now going away, which has that
They're
odor?
not approved for.
Odor.
Betty, I didn't see an approval for Duane Street, did you this year?
RD smell.
Odor, shelter.
You is closed, permanent closed.
Yeah.
Right, so that would make more sense to go on Duane and not
Are you
pick up.
going to add stuff
No.
on Duane?
No, because we are not enough manpower, so we're not gonna open for the wider. It's just, we just want to open for like a minimum, sure, we just want to the.
I was actually just suggesting like moving all that to the other side to give this space,
That side.
because the other side's.
Is there a door on the other side of the window?
No, there's no door on the
No,
other
it's
side.
second.
In order for them to be.
That's why they wanted to be a trash and then storage.
Right, they put storage over
They
there.
put storage and
Their
trash over there.
doors come onto West Broadway.
West Broadway.
So- Okay, so do we put,
Betty, jump in.
You're muted.
You're muted.
What needs to be shown is where is the accessible entrance into this space? Well, into and out of this space.
This,
They're saying the main entrance is accessible.
Yeah, I know, and that's their opinion, but nevertheless, I'm talking about the outdoor seating.
Okay.
We're showing railings completely around the whole space, which I understand, except I know the feeling of being trapped if somebody opens it and lets me in, but
they don't go, they go to the entrance.
Well,
you're not gonna go?
then I want to eat outside.
if Betty wants to eat outside and she's in a wheelchair, how does she get there?
They can, this is a movable plant. So we can, if it's not okay for the, we're going to take it off for the one plant off.
I understand you're going to broaden it if it's not enough room. Am I correct?
She says she's gonna move the plank to allow for handicap
Have
access.
access.
Or, but of course, that is not that comply for the ADA because we're going to move over. But, they can get inside from here to access to the here too. And from
So-
all the way through the end.
Can you help me understand something, and Betty, and if they are compliant with getting a wheelchair, having wheelchair accessibility to the outside as per ADA, what more are we asking that I don't understand?
They need to show us accessibility for the outdoor area.
How do I get in there? And if I'm done eating, how do I get out? Or am I completely dependent upon somebody? Otherwise, I'm trapped.
Yeah.
You don't know, you don't understand the feeling of being trapped. Trapped that you can't get in, trapped that you can't get out.
Is that similar reference to the shed?
No, this is a
No,
reference
nothing.
to when Betty goes to dine, there has to be an accessible way for her to go in and go out without anybody moving a planter.
And without her feeling,
Right, she can't
that
be trapped
she's gotta
inside.
call somebody to move her.
Right.
She's gonna go inside the restaurant and outside the restaurant.
We can change the
What
structure.
they have to show on the diagram, an accessible way for ADA compliance to the exterior. How they get in and how they get out. What we don't know is whether or not, when you're looking, you go back to the photos of the restaurant. please. The photos of the restaurant, you don't know what the tables look like inside. Can Betty get in and out the door there? Is there something, a table on the inside of the restaurant? We don't know that, and it's not for them to tell us, it's for it to be shown on the diagrams. I shouldn't have to guess. Right, Betty?
Yeah, no, there should be a definite route for how people get in and out of the space as well as how they get to the bathroom and not.
Make a picture that shows that.
So we put that in our comments,
Yes.
Yeah,
correct?
yep, we put that in our comments. And then, you said you were approved for the storage container you have outside?
not approved, but it for the, this is for like,
Garbage,
it's movable.
it's moved.
So it's already built up, but I don't, it's movable one is for, landmark building is okay to put in for like 36 inches. This is not for the violated for the DOB.
I understand what they
So,
have.
but if it's not okay for the community board, and of course we're going to take it down and then.
No, we don't want to take it out. We want to figure, I think there is a question to be asked.
But
And I'm not sure what it is. I mean, you see, what they have done is legal, the way I understand it very clearly. They have taken that piece, that whole piece, that could be accessible for garbage, and they made one of it for storage. That's all they've done, but it's within the correct area, and there is no problem with it.
Don't you have to remove those, Susan, at night? Those can be out there permanently. I thought that with the sanitation, you have to have a space inside to.
I don't think so.
Well, it's certainly true for in the.
Neighborhood where they're permanently in the street. So
Well-
those are approved as of the new trash laws.
I mean-
And that's also down here, if you go to another neighborhood outside of this neighborhood, that's the norm.
It's not the norm. I'm the president of my co-op board. I can tell you right now, because I just looked at it. We have to bring them in and take them
That's
out.
for,
Exactly, I was gonna say, I had the same thing in
So
ours.
commercial-
Also, the hotel next to us has to be.
Abide by a different set of rules.
Well, what do you think? Of course, Trish.
Well, I mean, again, I agree with Alice that we have to be mindful about what's happening in front of all of these commercial retail spaces. Like Citibank, who's across Duane Street from them, has had huge, and I don't want to go too far with this, but it's 8 feet by 60 feet. There is a storage structure outside of Citibank.
well, that's not a storage structure. That's in place because Tribeca Citizen had a story about it this week. That's in place because they're actually supposed to be doing accessibility for the building. And they've just drugged their feet on getting it done.
It's before the pandemic. We're talking 5 years.
The boxes that are sitting right there?
Yes, 5 years it's been sitting there.
Okay, let's get back to this
I think-
applicant. Let's not talk about the
Well,
other.
I think it's appropriate because they have seasonal things in front of their building, and we're being told now some of them stay all the time, that's all.
Their containerization for the corporation is
It's not
legal
the issue.
Okay,
on the Duane Street side.
okay.
So, and what we're asking, because they have the seasonal entrance, is they still need to provide, although we'll put in here, they need to provide a diagram if and when they ever do dining between November and April of how their outdoor space will work with the enclosure that they have put up.
Fair.
Where is the accessibility path? It cannot be with movable planters. You have to have a defined way that ADA accessibility, you come in to the outdoor space and you leave the outdoor space in any and all seasons. Right, Betty?
There should, I mean, there should be.
You'll write something for me to put on here. All right, because here are our 4 options. Community board recommends approval, just flat, nothing else. Community board recommends denial, flat, nothing else. Community board recommends approval with modifications. Recommended modifications only if approved with modifications. Applicant acknowledges and agrees to modification, which is what we're going for here. Or applicant acknowledges but does not agree.
So she's going to acknowledge and
They
agree.
have acknowledged and
And
agreed,
agreed.
so we're putting everything in here with
Right.
those 2. Does that sound right?
Yes.
From the group here?
I think so, yeah,
think
and
so.
then you agree.
I still call the question.
And then, can I second it now, please?
Yeah, so I think we're good to go. It's been called and it was seconded. Nobody jumped in before it was seconded. Sorry, Alice. We'll do this by affirmation. Okay? This is for a community board recommends approval with modifications and applicant acknowledges and agrees to modifications. Right? Okay, are there any opposed?
I don't know what it is we're voting on. I'm sorry. It's still not clear to me as far as these exterior storage. And units that are, and the entry. What is it saying? I don't know what I'm voting on.
We are approving, okay.
You're proving that they can exist and you're not challenging them or asking for confirmation that they're legal?
Stop the crosstalk in the room, please, so we can get an answer for Alice. We are approving their diagram. They will need to make changes to the diagram to show the ADA accessibility, a path in and out that will be maintained at all points, not by pulling a planter back and forth. They will provide a secondary diagram for any potential dining that happens between November and April when their seasonal entrance is up. They will provide proof that the seasonal entrance has been approved and is appropriate from the DOB. Let's turn that one here. And then we understand that their storage and trash that are containerized on Dwayne are as of right. And that their outdoor area will only be open Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 8:30, Friday and Saturdays from 5 to 9.
From
May
from May.
So I don't know if the approval then, in my mind, would, I don't know how you're writing these sound to be different than what you've done in licensing for the liquor license, whereas no, but unless, but if it's, I would say that for me to sign on to this, I would say they would have to confirm the legality of these structures as part of the deal, as well as everything that else is.
Except yes as an answer. Except
Sorry?
yes as an answer. We put that in here that that they need to provide proof that it's an approved DOB structure.
Okay, good. Okay.
Right? And you don't have, as I said before, the option to deny unless. The only options for revocable consent are the ones that I read, and the tenor and tone in the room was approved with the modifications.
And the applicant.
And the applicant has agreed to all of it. Therefore, the question was called, the question was seconded, and now it is up to you. Are you
For it or
for it, against it, abstaining, or recusing?
And Tad has something to say.
no?
No, this is a vote.
Too bad.
That's it.
We're done.
So if you are online, please unmute and tell me, because we did a vote by affirmation, if you are a no, an abstention, or recusal.
Yes.
Eddie, you're first. B for Betty.
Okay, yes.
Blank.
Blank will abstain until I've read the damn thing. Thanks.
By the way, there is no reading for full board. This is it, because we don't have the time. It's going through exec, it'll be ratified only at full board. So you will go as an abstention, no problem. Okay, Pat?
I'm abstaining. I don't see, unless they can actually show us how they can make it ADA accessible, I have to see how they can make it ADA accessible. So I'm abstaining.
Vicky? Vote is yes. I mean, Alice is abstaining, so. What is that? Pat's abstaining. Vicky, Andrew?
Zelter's a yes.
Okay, thank you. Vicky? We're gonna say Vicky's not there. Purchase.
Okay.
All right, motion passes.
Did we all said yes?
You.
Yeah, we all said yes.
Okay. Boy, is this complicated, guys.
So she's good? These people, they have to
She's
sign
good.
something or they
They
don't?
have to sign eventually, or
But not
Odette
now.
will deal with that. But thank you. Thank you. for your-
Thank you very much, yeah.
And accommodating.
First, we appreciate
We
everything.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, to the send, for like a requirement, details, and we're going to.
Yes,
comply,
yes.
so just please
We will
do
do that.
that.
Absolutely.
We're going to comply.
Yep.
Perfectly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh.
They're doing construction, so maybe they'll fix the sewage, making
Yeah.
that happen.
Maybe.
Maybe, wouldn't that be nice? I'd love for them to fix that corner. That's one block up from the Boston. Okay, they have 20 minutes for presentation. It's not an hour. Promise, they promise. All right, so let's welcome our friends from Beta NYC. They're here for our website redesign and have been working with Charlotte as well. We just need some feedback, right? They're very technical people. They're very smart. I'm not looking for like the deepest of dives from it. It's just the goal. Take it away, because you have your goals.
Yeah.
Where are we?
We're looking for feedback on how to reorganize content on the site. Not getting distracted with any of the specific visuals or specific language. We still have a lot of time to work on that, but mostly like what goes on this page versus another page, or how do we group some related content together?
This is what I do all day.
I know, I'm like, this is,
Oh, you're in so much trouble now.
well, it's fun.
Oh, yeah. How should we advance?
Zach,
Give me one sec. Okay.
Since I never go to the website.
I don't go to it because the search practice.
I just, it makes me too crazy, so I don't bother.
It's working?
Yeah, it's working,
Great. There might be a little lag because that's online.
because we're far.
No, that's a
Internet.
user.
Yeah. Cool. So, hi everyone, my name's Ashley. I work with Beta NYC. I lead the Civic Innovation Lab there. And maybe you already know, but we do a lot of work with New York City local government. Our office is down on the 19th floor. We work very closely with the Manhattan Borough President Office. And we also working with Community Board One now. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley. I am the user experience designer working at the Beta NYC Lab.
Great. So today we're going to talk about our goals for improving the website. We're going to talk about look at the existing Community Board One website and what can be improved about it. And then we're going to talk about how we're planning to reorganize some of the content on the website. Cool. So again, our goals are really to make content more user-friendly and improve the sitemap and organization. And as well as make some of the documents that are displayed on the website more searchable. So specifically the resolutions, letters, agendas, and minutes. Yeah.
So as a common practice, when you work on any website, in order to improve it, you have to consider who the users are. In CV1 website, currently we identify 4 main groups of users. First one is general public, whose needs is to quickly find information about community board and community district, such as next meetings, resources, or any news. And then the second group of users are applicants who want to view the application guidelines and apply for it. And then we have board members who want to find information about meetings like schedule, agendas, meeting minutes, and reference documents for decision makings. And finally, we have CV1 staff who would maintain the website and update the content in a timely manner so that it is available for the public. So we're going to go into showing you what's the current structure of the CV1 website is. But first, we want to briefly introduce to you the terms that we're going to use. First one is top level page. So on the website, whatever you see on the top level menu bar, that is called top level navigations. It is visible at the top of every website and every page that you are seeing on the website. And then you have level 2 navigations, which on the current site is going to appear on the left side panels. And it's going to contain the content within each top level page. This diagram shows you what the current content structure looks like on CV1. The reason why we are showing it in a diagram instead of showing you the screenshot of the real website is that we do want to focus your attention on the structure of where each content is and how you go to each page to find what you would need. So you could see here the dark blues mean they are top level navigations and you are currently have 7 pages. And under each of that, the light blue means there are second level content under that. On the home page, you would have shortcuts and currently they are connecting to the meeting page. And there is one page which is called external information that doesn't have any second level in navigation. It just only show contents. And we're gonna get into details on that page when we get to that. So the next part of it, we're gonna talk about sitemap reorganization.
Yeah, and don't worry if you didn't catch all the details, because we're gonna go into more detail with each of these different sections. So we've grouped content on the website into 8 larger categories. One, we're gonna talk about the homepage, the About Community Board 1 page, the committees, talk about meetings, board actions, so what we're describing as resolutions, letters, testimonies, license dispositions, and projects and external information. We're also gonna include applications and reports, although those 2 sections are not included in this presentation today. Yeah.
In Vips, sound like, well, did y'all look at data and insights to identify like how much people were engaging with certain pages, and was there an opportunity to reduce either the number of pages or how much content you're adjusting?
That's a very good question. I don't know if OTI does like user tracking. It's currently set up on an existing system called a Teams site. And we're suggesting to kind of move that into a WordPress site in which we could include analytics, but we didn't have any access to any user analytics for this exercise.
That's interesting, since I got in an argument with somebody at OTI about analytics.
We can take that up and the next meeting.
We can ask them.
Both of you are gonna be there.
Oh, I'm never meeting with OTI.
No, not OTI, with Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo in Charlotte.
You're right, Charlotte, smart one, yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm not, okay, keep going.
cool. Okay, so let's dive in. Throughout the presentation, we kind of created a visual cue. So anytime you see a yellow box, it's sort of a critique or a suggestion for improvement on the existing site. Anytime you see a purple box, it's a recommendation for strategies on how to improve the site. And then whenever you see that teal color box, that's kind of an opportunity to pause, and we'd like to hear your feedback at that time. Yes.
Are there like government requirements on how these pages are structured or designed or?
So we have to work within a template provided by OTI. So they do have like strict things like you can only use the highlight blue color, and it's white, and it has a standard structure for the sitemap. So that top level, second level pages, or also third level tertiary pages. But within that, I think we do have a bit of flexibility to incorporate some custom CSS in the WordPress site. We use WordPress for our Beta NYC site. So Haley just actually went through a redesign of the Beta NYC site, so we're quite familiar with that. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but OTI wants to make sure that all of the information is accessible. So they don't recommend to put make too many changes or include plugins that they didn't already approve of on site.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great questions. Okay, let's dive into the homepage. So currently on the site, we know that some of the things that people frequent the most are live meetings portal to access the attendance sign-in and look at upcoming meeting materials. We know that the primary point of contact, so Zach and Tammy, are featured on the homepage, and like an opportunity to subscribe to the newsletter and some useful links. We looked at an example of a couple other community boards, and these are using that new WordPress template. So there are some improvements in those features, like having those big blue buttons for quick shortcut links. So that's something that we could improve about the homepage, as well as featuring latest news or upcoming meetings there. So the question to you all is, what is the most important information to display on the homepage?
And about us.
about us.
Just because like, when I tell people about the community board, they don't seem to know what it is, and then they Google it, and they still don't know it.
Yeah. That's a good point. About us.
You think that should go on the front page, like a text description about us?
Yeah.
Yes,
What our scope is.
what our scope, what we're allowed to do, because people, of who we are. People think we have all this power and
And then
all
like
this
what the next.
stuff.
What we're charged with.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I,
You don't like that?
no, not particularly. I feel like there should be, I sit on the global business marketing team and I'm overhauling our experience right now.
Tell me why.
So two things, I feel like an About Us link would make sense, but to the point that y'all just called out, I feel like there should be some big buttons to say, get to the meeting, subscribe to our newsletter, that sort of thing. The thing that I hate about this page that we're looking at now, so there's tons of text on this page. And like, I think like the current experience of like how we engage with internet content is more visual. So I would lean towards that. I'm not saying I'm the end all be all, that's just my quick.
No,
feedback.
and I think that makes a good,
Instead of a picture of the stock exchange. mean,
I think a map would be
something that
fabulous.
Very
Yeah,
clearly says.
This
like,
is our
what we
boundary.
do for-
This is who we are.
And
I don't
It's like
give a
the
shit about
neighborhood.
them.
Next.
All right.
we're gonna move.
And I like Brendan's point about
A box.
a box, that this is what, this is,
And now you know why I said you can't show the website that we can't have.
Yeah.
Because I know exactly what he's asking for, and we can't do that.
Although
Keep going.
what I'm honestly really concerned about is that every community board has a different kind of website, and if they could just standardize it and.
There are two options.
That would be nice,
There are two options. We're staying with the standardized OTI site.
but they're different. We just saw two different sites that are on the same platform that look completely different.
Right. Well,
This is the word.
That's a bigger problem that,
they
data
think
vendors
it's not
have tried to take up, but we're not entering that
Community board,
territory.
you go to another community board and you literally don't know what's going on in either one.
They're not.
well, that's for a variety of reasons.
you can choose to be on the OTI platform, or you can choose to go completely out on your own with no.
No, what I'm saying is like the page before when it showed the
Mhm.
2 pages,
Mhm.
if we can customize it however we want and it's gonna not be like that, then every website's going to be different. Even if they're on this.
Correct. Correct.
That's what I'm.
Correct.
But hopefully there's gonna be, I mean, I can't read the.
Keep going.
Every community board's different.
Okay.
It's just like, if I wanna get the archives for a different community board, I'd have to like figure out.
Okay, so the existing.
So this is what you've already heard, right?
Okay, we see this.
So-
So let's keep going.
All right, so we just want to point out a couple things about the existing site. So on the left side panel here, you can see that there's something like 10 pages listed. Our recommendation is to trim down that list, group related content together. And maybe this is an example of a much shorter list. It's much easier to read and easier to navigate. Likewise, we heard comments in the room about too much text on the home page. A page like the membership page right now, it's a long list of names. And a single column layout makes it much more scrolling on the website. So we looked at an example of a different community board 6, where we really like how they have different section headers and use like a 2 or a 3 column layout to improve the readability. And what's also nice is that they include the titles of board officers as well as the committees for the committee chairs that they're heading.
Where are the rest of the board members?
It's just cut off on the screen.
But it should be underneath that.
Yeah,
You have to scroll.
you would have to scroll a little bit.
See, the difference on this one is it tells you what this website tells you, for example, Susan Cole and what committees Susan Cole sits on versus ours, which has the list of all the board members. And then you go into the committee and you see which committee.
You gotta
Yeah,
go
it's
find
their
it,
name.
yeah, it's a repetition.
Click on the name, it should take you. The names don't do anything.
Right.
They don't have specific pages.
Brendan?
Is there a difference in, so I'm guessing kind of that the previous page was like that because that was easy to quickly like enter text and names. Is it easier in this experience or is it the same? So like, so somebody's gonna have to edit this page going forward.
Yep.
This,
Yeah, the WordPress site is much easier for somebody with no experience to learn how to do it. Right now, all of that knowledge is kept with Lucy, who's been graciously updating the site for several years. But it's difficult for somebody new to learn that existing team site structure where the WordPress has a more user-friendly maintenance side. Yeah.
So each person would be what in the WordPress site? Would they be a board member and then they would have titles, or is it still free text that's formatted?
Yeah, we're not getting into specifics just yet, but whether we just like this concept of, you know, adding titles, like we're not.
What is free text mean?
It's,
Any
like if it's just something that you format within the thing, or will each one of us be
That's a
included?
detailed question. We can get to it another time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
Too much detail.
That's okay.
I'm just curious, because then we could just like delete a board member and then they'd be gone from everywhere.
Yeah, it would be pretty
Oh, okay.
Correct.
easy to
That's-
edit in one location.
That's one of the goals.
Mm-hmm.
You mean delete,
Got it.
delete us?
Yeah, you want to get rid of us all? That's not.
And then for
Are
committees,
you gonna
committees
delete
would
me?
be
That's it, you're done?
comprised of board members, so then if we move.
Go on, go on. I'm
It's
sorry.
kind of nice to think something forgot somewhere and you still exist on the site.
Okay, so another thing that we'd like to bring up is that how there's 4 different pages for content that describes about like Community Board 1. So what's nice about another example is that you could create, for example, like a district profile page that combines all of those different sections. So about the district, maps, local representation, local services, you can put that all in one page. So our recommendation for the new proposed site, if you look on the right column, we have 3 level 2 pages. So just board members and staff, committees, and district profile, and then you can have a little bit more detail within each of those pages. And then we're suggesting to move some of the other resources like downtown construction into a separate section of the website on the resources page. So, question to you all, what do you think about this structure that we're proposing? Is there anything you would do differently?
Those are the only 2 things about CB1 and resources.
There are many other things, but
We're
this
just,
is just,
we're just talking about that right now.
we're only focused on what was
The
in
2 blue.
existing about page on the existing site
Okay.
right now.
Oh, the about.
Only the
reorganization.
about.
This isn't about reorganization, it's the about section.
About
Speak.
section, yes.
Like, what about reorganization?
So
About,
Help me understand, so that means that the map is not happening?
no,
No,
the
the
map
map
will
is
be
there.
included on
And
the
then-
district profile page.
And then you click on the section you want,
Yeah,
and it brings you to this.
yeah.
I like that.
Mm.
Because I think, you know, in terms of
Yeah.
I'm a visual person.
I'm a
so-
visual person too.
So it gives you a you know, where we are,
Yeah,
who we
but the-
are, how we fit in, good.
But the map replacing this, whatever that picture was of that building makes sense too.
Oh, absolutely.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I got ideas for that too.
It is the New York Times. Thank you.
Okay, the next.
Right.
The next topic we want to bring up is committees page. So right now, committees page is nested under about CB1 sections. And as you could recall from what Ashley just said, this is already a pretty content heavy sections already. And you only have one page to list all the information about committees. One problem with the page labels is that it is really long. And this could be a problem for people who look for this type of information. If the page label is long, it's not recommended for websites. And then you could see in this recording is that this is the page that contains all information about committees, and it's a very long scroll. And that is not optimal for anybody who look for information on the website.
Agree.
So we found an example that we think is a better way to display committee information is CB4. They have committees on their top level navigation. And under that, they have each committees have their own page to describe their information. And that would include committees' names, members,
Yeah.
and a description.
Yeah, that makes
And you
sense.
could also include information like meeting schedule or agendas.
Love
I
that.
like
Yeah.
that.
That's
Thank you for the positive feedback.
Yeah.
The proposal here is you move it out of about CB1 sections
And we
to
make
a
our-
top
And you
level.
make it a separate one.
And then,
Yeah,
yes, each committees have your own page.
Yeah,
Great.
cool.
In each page, you have the description of the committee and you
We
have
got
a
it.
link
We got
to
it.
the
We got it.
meeting.
We got it.
Yeah.
And then click for suggestions or get in touch with or whatever.
That's what kind of we asked to put in.
I also heard that committee chairs were gonna be in charge of editing these pages.
No.
Brandon, I hate you're supposed to spill that tea right now.
If I have access, I have no problem with that. It's getting the access.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, so the next topic that we want to bring up is information about meetings. This is the situation on your side.
Yeah, no.
You have meetings information scattered in
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
locations. You have meeting page that lists upcoming meetings and agendas. And you have archive page that store past agendas and information like minutes or presentations. And then on the homepage, it links to the meeting page. So,
I can't find anything.
for the new team side, WordPress size, you would be able to use a plugin called the event calendars that allow you to show events in a calendar forms or a list form. So in each of these events, you would be able to put information like a specific event date, location, time, agendas, and you would be able to link to that, have the link to attend the meetings directly from there. This is the list view of it.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, you can attend the meeting right from there. That's great for the calendar.
No, get information. Oh, it's.
And then-
Do that.
Say, 'cause it's.
They have a link to it.
And then remember when you have like, you have agendas and minutes separately under archive? We think a better way for that is, remember, if you have like a separate committee page, you would be able to
Smart.
include that information here on each of the committee.
Archive cards?
No, this is just, that's the existing site, you put it under archive. But then this is our suggestion, to include it with committee page.
So each page, so are you gonna
Yeah.
also
I've
add
seen
in
that.
resolutions per committee?
We're gonna
getting
get to
there.
that.
Can we include the results of the?
All that
meetings
should
and
be
all
on
that
that
in the
committee
archive? So if you do a search.
Yes.
We're gonna get to the part where we bring it up to you, what is the better way to include that information on.
Because it would be easier to find
Yeah.
when we talked about something.
So to sum up our recommendation for the meetings informations, you would have, under meetings, you would have a calendar that show all your meetings schedule and agendas. And then you would organize meeting information by full board meeting and committee meetings. And then the committee meetings would link to each of the committee's page. And in
Okay,
order to do that, you would have to move the content that's formerly under archive over to meetings. That is the new.
And it's automatic. It have, I mean, it'll be done.
Yeah, any questions? This all makes sense?
Sort of.
Yeah, we can see, we like it.
Are the YouTube videos gonna be on the page? Yeah, we could do
Really
that.
good to that.
Yeah.
So, also, what I think, the YouTube videos are not necessarily, they're organized by date, because that's the way they're posted. So you can't like click into and see all quality of life. You have to actually search for the date.
But the date is fine, like if you have it attached to the agenda.
Yeah, you have the link to the YouTube video.
The YouTube videos are posted
The
within,
agenda.
with a couple days. We'll call it 48 hours or more or less, 2 or 3 business days after the meeting, they're posted up. So there can always be a link anywhere, because the YouTube page is not dependent on a specific meeting or specific date, it is everyone.
But like where the historical meetings have been, you know, like where the previous agendas live, if we have that link to the video,
That would be
then
great.
if you do a search in the website, you'd be able to immediately go see the recording.
We could probably do, links to the committee, from the committee's page, the committees section of.
Yeah,
YouTube.
that's what we want.
I think we do want to limit how many links we have to update every month for every meeting, because then it just will be like a bit of a staff drag to like, if there's 50 updates that need to be made every month. So we'll try to minimize how much interaction that we have to do to update it. So I think a link to like the committee's YouTube channel,
Mhm.
playlist, would,
Is there such a thing?
would solve.
What would that give me if I click that? That all, every Battery Park City committee,
Yes.
that's starting from the most recent down?
Yes.
That's what we want.
That's how it's currently on YouTube. If you just click on playlists, it will give you,
Love the video.
it is currently in each
Copy it.
playlist.
to
And how I find
The
it,
agenda.
about an hour in, maybe.
All right, let's, Mimi, Mimi,
Maybe.
the next meeting we have with Beta, I'm inviting you and Brendan.
Right.
But no, that's great. I didn't know that.
Okay,
He's so bad.
next,
Okay, so moving forward.
remember, we have one resolution left. that
And we have to do it.
Yeah.
So please.
Yes. Speaking of resolutions, wouldn't you love a way to search for
Yes.
resolutions better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're getting to it. So we're gonna incorporate all of the resolutions into an Airtable database. So all the records can be filtered, sorted, searched. And we can provide a training for how to use the Airtable to make your life easier.
Got it.
A layman's version is, it's a spreadsheet type database that
Yeah.
you could search by title, by committee.
I can go back to my resolutions, my stuff.
Correct, you could search like
And then-
130 West
I
Broadway,
got it.
and it should be able to pull everything that's ever been done for 130.
And one question is, what a question on that is, so the resolution, is it gonna pull up, if I wanna see Battery Park City Committee, who
Yes,
cares? I wanna see whatever it is about, let's say, ground rent. It comes up, it's not gonna give me the whole,
It's going to
25
give you every resolution
That-
on the ground
that
rent.
has ground rent referenced.
Perfect.
You see each of
Correct.
those lines,
So,
those
and it'll
are,
get me each resolution, and I can
Yes.
go in there and just
Just
print down
use look.
specific
each
resolution.
row in the table is one resolution. Right now, it's filtered by the Transportation Committee. This is Community Board 6 that already implements it.
So
You
you
can
click one.
also filter by year or a date range.
I just wanna see one resolution, like when I click it, I
Yeah.
want one.
You can search
don't
for a
want the whole
keyword, for
committee.
example, City of Yes. It highlights everything. It also highlights if that text is within the PDF document itself.
So it is search in PDF.
Yes. And if it's digitally created, not if it's like a scam.
Sort by address.
You can search by address. Yes, we can add specific tags. It may take a little bit of time to create this database, so Pranay is actually working on that as we speak. And yeah, when you pull it up, you can click into the resolution PDF document itself. And it's right there, visible.
Click
Yeah.
it.
Don't future-proof.
Did you click it?
This isn't live, it's the gym.
There's somebody else.
This is not us, yes.
It's a recording,
You,
yeah.
you wanna see, live?
Okay.
No.
No,
No, we don't have time. We gotta move.
Okay.
Okay, moving forward, those are all the amazing features Airtable can do. We can do a training on it in a future date.
Good.
So we're grouping board actions together with resolutions, liquor licenses, cannabis licenses, and testimonies and letters.
That makes sense.
Makes
Good.
sense?
It makes sense.
Yes, that makes
Awesome.
sense.
Okay, so in addition to that, we were thinking of also migrating your presentations that are currently stored on Google Drive
Oh, yeah, I hate
into a similar format. Some of the files, have crazy names. You can only sort by last date modified or created of the file, so it would be nice to sort by the date of the meeting. And is this a direction we want to move in, everything with Airtable?
Are you implementing a file naming convention?
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
We need to make a resolution about that.
no,
No.
What you just said, but okay.
Okay, moving on to external information.
So this is the final topic that we are bringing up in this presentation. Thank you so much for all the positive feedback you have up to this point. So please take a look at your current external information page. You could see that this page currently have no level 2 navigations. Every content is put on here and it is disorganized and it is difficult to find information on this page. Usually, I think based on our own research, these similar informations are put under resources. For example, as you can see on Community Board 2, they have a resource page and they have level 2 pages that list out information in a more organized manners. And then you, as a user, could go through each of these pages to find the information that you need. So our recommendation is to sort out the current information you have on external info and move it over to the resources page. If it's related to major projects, it would lie under that page. If it's related to resources, it would go to local resources. Yeah,
Okay.
that is our recommendation for external information.
Wait, so projects would have separate pages or are those sections in the page?
Separate page under resources page.
So there's resources and then projects, and then
Yes.
there's an indentation for the projects.
That could be determined. I know that those special topics, like it depends on how much content, they could be just section headers within the projects page. If there's not that much, or if you think that something is substantial enough to merit its own dedicated page, it could be that as well.
Interesting.
As far as we've seen, it looks like they're mostly like links to external reports or resources. So I think, to me, it makes sense as section headers with a link of all of the related content for,
Yeah.
let's say, yeah, Battery Park City, yeah. Okay. So this is the new proposed website structure. I know the text is very tiny, but you can refer back to this in the presentation materials. If you wanted to study it a little bit further and provide us further feedback. We have prepared, so where we're going next is we'd like to finalize the sitemap and send that over to OTI so they can begin building out just the general page structure. So based on this diagram, OTI is gonna just build empty pages for us to kind of fill content with.
You can't make your own pages in this WordPress site?
We can, but they're just gonna help do the initial part.
Just makes it faster
Yeah. Initialize the website.
because they're a small team.
There are only 2 of them, for Christ's sakes.
If we can rely on OTI for something, we will.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Charlotte, who we have for the summer.
Correct.
Charlotte's gonna be doing,
Our deadline is to get
The
all
harder-
of this done before we're back in September, because
Oh.
Charlotte needs to go back.
That's fabulous.
so we would like.
How
to
are you gonna
approve
do
the
that?
by next week. But
Okay.
please take a little bit deeper look at this presentation if you're interested, and we have a form, a Google form for you to provide more written feedback, which we will take into consideration as we move forward with the website design.
That's an aggressive timeline. Few quick points. This is kind of maybe to the room. One, or to you, I think it'd be great next time if y'all could provide what type of engagement insights that you can get from this once we have moved over.
Yeah.
To, I don't know if you're thinking about this already, but like a governance doc of like how you're gonna maintain this and how it doesn't end up being a mess and like how often you're gonna do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you all thinking, and I'm gonna guess no, but I'm gonna ask anyway, of doing any kind of user testing on like text? So one of the things I'm thinking about, like the term applications, like,
Yeah.
does that actually make sense and resonate with people?
Yeah.
And then final bit is training. Who's gonna own that and who's gonna train the people that need to do it?
To your point about the user testing, that's not currently in our scope, but we're happy to talk to Zach.
Is that a budget cost thing or, yeah,
What is it?
user testing? So user feedback, rounds of user feedback where like basically
So
you
you
ask
can see it.
specifically.
Well, the ideal goal would be that maybe that could be done during the process with you and Mimi, that seem to be so wildly able to experience it and understand the back and cut the back and forth dialogue down to 10 minutes versus Justine and I, which would be 35 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So in terms of time, it'd be great. Hopefully you'll be around.
I mean,
I
if
just
it's,
booked
if
a
it's,
trip for the rest of the week.
Welcome to the Assistant Secretary.
I'll double your community board salary.
Who is gonna do this on site?
What do you mean?
I think it's gonna be their office.
Our office.
Yeah.
Maintain it. We currently maintain, the current website, so we will continue to maintain the
So
tools.
we better think about having an assistant
the red
here to
flag,
do that to help.
No,
You think you do?
it's, Lucy does the website as it is.
Yeah.
So once all the changes are done, she
And
should be
there,
able to,
it should be easier.
it should be easier for her.
I got it,
actually,
okay.
which would be a great thing. And Onej knows how to do it. She's, skilled. I'm sorry, know how to do what? Website stuff. And then we have our lovely, master's intern over here, who's with us till
Oh, big deal. I'm sorry.
ouch.
Ouch, really. That's,
So in regards to user testing, how, like, when this is created and we're looking at it and we have feedback later, if OTI is making
No, they're
empty
making it, but we,
pages, does that mean like how much access would we be able to make?
we have,
empty
we'll have an admin account and we'll be able to make and edit pages.
Okay.
Yeah,
'cause
absolutely.
that was like a huge red flag to me.
Yeah,
all right,
we as in CD1.
10.
But like, so,
Keep going.
hold on, so
Amy, can you talk to them on the side afterwards so we can do the next topic?
we have another topic?
Yes.
Yes, and I want to go through it.
Sorry.
Excuse me, will I ever be recognized?
Oh, sorry, Betty, I didn't even see it up.
Yeah, sorry, because I've had comments on every single section, so I actually won't go into details because I have overwhelming number of comments to make. So my request was going to be that I can also play some role as you move forward, because as a committee chair, there are lots of red flags of things that aren't even included or spoken about. But also I look at other community boards' websites on a weekly basis. So I'm very used to having to deal with them and navigating them, and I know what I like and don't like.
Yes, please provide your feedback in the forum.
Well, that's too time consuming, so I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
We have this structure for feedback. We ask everybody to provide it. We hope that you'll be able to do so. If you want to be a larger part in being on the dialogue and sit in a meeting with us in the next 3 weeks while we work through this, we're happy for it. Okay, but the website will not be open for chairs to make changes to it. Any changes on our CB1 website have to go through the office. We can't, hit it flat.
Speaking of feedback, does the WordPress version allow for like general people to give feedback? Like there's wrong text or?
We could probably include like a contact site or like an FAQ where it can be
But
streamlined.
there's not like that. It's
No,
not.
it's not that advanced.
Cool.
Could it go in the complaints?
Pat, you have something to say?
Yeah, I'd like to sit in because as someone who is less tech savvy, you should see whether I know how to use it once you've designed it. If I can use it, then everybody can use it.
Good point.
The goal, Pat, is that, it's gonna be,
Including me.
it'll be very user-friendly for those who are not technologically inclined. There's also a mandate in the city, we can't make it, so it's like a super Uber thing, because it goes against the mandate of how the city wants their stuff.
Does Airtable?
If I can use Susan Cole and I can use it, then you know that it works.
What I heard is 2 other volunteers that want to provide additional feedback. for you all.
Betty.
So now we have 4 people
Betty
who
doesn't
who you can use as a user group. We've got Betty, we've got Pat, we've got Mimi, and we've got Brendan. He's not getting off the hook.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, really.
This is great.
For the Airtable question, OTI doesn't support Airtable, so that's why it needs to be an external site.
Which we
There'll
have
be a shortcut link to opening a new window.
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious about like the usability and being able to find stuff. Will Pat be able to?
Really, it's better.
That's
The
the
search, the goal is always to make the search functions for people to find things better.
Yeah,
Because if we can't find things, how does the public?
yeah.
All right.
I think we'll have little trainings at different points, and then we can always do specific
Yeah,
trainings for people, walk people through. I think, when you have a large change like this, there's gonna be,
Sure.
a lot of information that we have to keep sharing and keep sharing and keep sharing to make sure everybody has understood it better. So,
Yeah.
yes, there'll be lots of points of contact.
Thank you.
and we provide Airtable trainings regularly, so we could provide one at a committee meeting as well.
That was great.
and spoke to Community Board 6, who moved their resolutions and materials to Airtable. And they found after, not that much time that people got it. It's very intuitive, and you play with it for a little while and you know what to do.
We're going to work that the way that they did.
Similar, not
They have their own
exactly like it.
They're not.
Well, I'm talking about your.
Yeah.
Similar website.
They have some extraneous stuff that they might remove, so we'll probably do that.
So thank you, we have to do this resolution.
I'm getting the stink eye from people online and in my room. No comments on the website. Okay, we're gonna close the topic on the website. And we're gonna move on to the last topic, which is public comment period for SLA outdoor dining. So understand where we go on this. Again, due to the short timeline that we have, the public comment period has been extended to this Friday by close of business. This was discussed in licensing. Yeah, we have two resolutions that we're gonna show you. One's an update of the one that was done in licensing. So much like we do in the summer, where executive is the one that votes on a resolution on the topic and then gets ratified at full board, this is what we have to do with this because of the timeline. We just don't have a choice. There's no other place and space, so.
And just so you know, the first resolution we did, and it was easy for the committee in many ways. Mark was very helpful with it, and we did, and Onesh, and we wrote it, and then we realized with Tammy and all of us that we missed certain aspects that we should go on record to discuss. I mean, to have an opinion of. And so therefore, we have this second resolution, which is what we want to ratify and send forward, okay?
Wait, are we on the record saying that we are against to-go alcohol as a concept?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are, Mimi.
You don't have to yell,
No, I'm only kidding.
But when did we do that? Just out of curiosity, like which?
We can look that up while.
I think we did it in March of this year. We had a whole discussion at licensing, and it's in one of the resolutions in March. I think it's March 20, whatever it was, but that's where we put it up. And it was the whole aspect of with roadbed dining and where you are and having some control. That was really the point of it. I don't think, people in the community who are near these places with this, to-go alcohol, people stay in places and cause a lot, they congregate and cause a lot of.
So to-go alcohol would mean, sorry, I come from a place with beer barns, and so like if you order like some sort of like daiquiri thing, it's sealed and then it's not an open container until you pop a straw into it. I know it's delightful.
So to-go alcohol, you can order like Seamless, Grubhub, cocktails, drinks, whatever, from the restaurant to go. So you could order.
But you can't drink it until you get somewhere that's indoor.
You cannot drink it on premises.
Got it.
You could drink
Okay.
it across
That's
the
the
street,
point.
but then you have other issues.
You can, and that's one of the
Alright,
problems
I
for
got
us,
it.
but we can
Yes.
only control
Okay.
so much.
So I'll give you an example. I could order my cocktails from Mudville, even though I'm sitting at the ice cream place across the street with my kids on Chambers, right?
Mhm.
So I go order to-go alcohol from the bar across the street. I go pick up my to-go alcohol. I'm not allowed to stay either at the bar's sidewalk seating, or at the bar's roadbed, because they have sold me to-go alcohol. It
Yes.
must go. So I'm gonna just walk across the street to the ice cream store.
And then drink it while your kids have ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't like that. Or we do like that. Which one do we control?
We can't control it.
That's the responsibility of the ice
Ice
cream
cream
company.
place.
Oh.
I can't control that.
Here's the
I
rules.
take it, and there you are, my child Mimi, and I'm having 2 margaritas out here, and the ice cream place says, I'm very
That's why we're
sorry, we
against
don't
it from the
allow
very
alcohol.
beginning.
on
Because it's too
premises.
many
Go home.
extended things that we had no control over once it gets out of the establishment.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's a really, when you read the stuff that comes with this, it is complicated and it is upstate, it's the state, I mean, there are all kinds of things. So we tried the best we could to get everything we felt would be beneficial to the community. And that's really the goal.
So this one is pretty specific to outdoor dining and
Robot,
road bed and
Yes.
alcohol.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
I think it's great.
A lot of people, the staff, Unej, Zach, Francis, Tammy, myself, all work very hard on this. And I want to give Mark some credit also. He helped, you know, the staff.
This is a wrap. This is discussions. We had the committee meeting one.
Right.
And everything from the committee meeting should be in this one
It is,
and clarified, correct? So there's no
Correct.
change for any of that.
no.
And then it is just amending and adding.
And making it understandable.
Yeah.
Really making it literate.
Is it illegal to drink outside?
Yes,
The rules still apply, yes. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make
Yes.
sure. Yeah, I thought that for
there
a
are
second it was
places.
drinking outside during COVID, but I don't really know that I was supposed to do that.
Okay.
Thank you, Kate.
So Vicky, I think you have your hand up over there, right?
Right. I wanted to ask you, I had a thought. I worked with an architecture firm who's an expert at expediting sidewalk permits, DOT permits, liquor licenses, and they happen to be at 88 Pine Street. Since I haven't done a sidewalk application in 4.5 years, I wanted to know how you all feel if I called up, because the owners I worked for before had hired these people. If I asked them to come and give us a little talk, or you can ask any question you want, it would help us to get organized and informed by people who are thoroughly versed in all the rules and regulations. So if you're interested, I would call them. And I would say maybe at the executive committee where it's controlled environment, so we're not asking 54 questions.
I'm happy to have them come. That's not a problem. If it's about sidewalk cafes and roadbed, we've done many presentations and things like that. They can do that at licensing. The only time it comes to exec is when we don't have time because the revocable.
Right, okay. So the thing is that I just want us to all be informed, because a lot of people, throw stuff out, ideas and concerns. This is also a time of changes because of the outdoor dining. So are you interested? I will reach out and ask them to do a pro bono talk. And secondly, you can tell me what committee you want. That's later.
Okay, do you have any comments on this public comment that we're talking about right now for this? Which is, because we have to submit this tomorrow.
No, I'm sorry. I thought it was it's all general. And I don't know, because I'm not there. I can't tell who's talking when.
What we're commenting.
Can you let
on
me know
tonight.
about this idea, you and Susan, and if you're interested,
yes,
we'll take care of it.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So this is about the SLA rule changes that are going to be matched with the outdoor dining. That's what we're talking about right now, SLA rule changes.
But these people can help with all of that by informing us. Now I know why I put my hand up at this time. They can help us understand the way the rules and regulations work.
Anymore,
Yeah,
Vicky,
too late.
right now.
It's too late.
It's
Vicky.
too late. The public comment period ends tomorrow. We are commenting on what we have. for
Oh,
what-
okay. Sorry.
Okay,
Well, anyway, we can learn for future
Oh,
conversations. Okay, thank
all
you.
right, so can you let's go through, something go through it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's very, if you've read it, it's very clear.
good.
We have some things, we all attended a meeting with Commissioner Fun from the state. And so we have put certain things in here from the State Liquor Authority that we think, that we heard from her that if we put in, she will try to support us. And give us, that she may get sued, we may get sued. I mean, she talked about it, but we tried to be as tight as we possibly could within the parameters that DOT has.
Why would we get resolution?
I think it looks.
That's what the SLA will sue us, and we won't individually get sued. I've been sued on the board.
No, but like, for what's the problem?
They don't like the hours, one of the
Oh,
lawyers,
it's-
when it's,
okay.
it's discriminatory, whatever you want. You have a green nose, I don't know.
I think it's specific enough that, and thoughtful enough that I don't think that'll happen. I think it's common sense and it's specific to our community board based on the issues you.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, but I think so.
Six, we've been doing this for how long?
Well,
Okay, so
but it's more than that. The real issue is what we're up against.
yeah,
I mean, we're trying, well, it's DOT, it's the city, it's, we're working in the state. We're trying to make it all work for us, for our community.
exactly.
And we do say some of it will be a case-by-case basis because there are issues which you should be aware of. There's a commercial place where some of these places exist, and there are side streets where there are people who live there. And there are these aspects of outdoor dining and sidewalk cafes, and what do you do and how do you deal with that?
So the question on the table is, does anybody have additional things to add to this?
Thank you, Brandon.
I have a couple amendments.
Okay, Francis?
You're not the chair.
I
Thank you.
know, but
Sorry.
it's-
Oh, he can be, it's all right.
I get it. In the first bullet, the last sentence,
To go up.
to go alcohol service is not allowed by laws to be consumed in all, should say all outdoor seating areas.
No, because you can't eat it in somebody else's outdoor seating area. You can't eat it in the proprietor's area where you bought it. And not all outdoor seating areas could be the park. I can sit in the park and drink it. That's why it has to be nuanced, however you want to.
And that's why
nuance
we
it.
put it, if you want to change the nuance, Francis, but that's why we put permitted establishment.
Oh, Nash has a great idea.
Give it to me.
What Susan's saying, go for it.
We can specify, Francis, that, they can't do it in any DOT dining out NYC.
That's perfect, yeah.
That's perfect.
That's the last one.
The last bullet in the first whereas.
To-go alcohol service is not allowed by law to be consumed in any DOT approved or whatever.
Drink outside.
But yes,
So you can't take it somewhere else and drink it outside, right?
You
you're
can in the
not
park.
supposed to, you're
You're not supposed
No, I
to.
don't.
I think you're
I
not
don't remember
supposed
about
to.
the open container.
Zach, do you know? I don't know anymore.
I don't think so.
I texted Emily about it because I think a really bad part of COVID when they sold.
Yeah, they would sell it.
drinks,
They would sell
And we
it.
went to the park in Williamsburg and drank them.
You're not supposed to. If they catch you, it's a problem.
For example,
Except-
I have a park right outside me.
No,
Hanover
drink in the
Square.
park.
People bring to go and drink out
I
there.
don't think it's a problem here in CV one necessarily, but if you're sitting on your stoop, you can do that. That's
That's
outdoor.
your,
But I don't think that's an issue for.
But if you own your stoop, then
It's
it's
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
But
correct.
why are there tiny fireball bottles everywhere? Whole other question that I would like.
drinking
answers
in
to.
public places in New York City is generally prohibited except where permitted, like events like block parties. However, in 2016, drinking in public in Manhattan was decriminalized, meaning the police can't arrest you for it.
So you get a ticket.
You get a
So
summons.
it's still,
So in
A
essence,
non-criminal
you can,
offense,
yeah, you sit outside my park and drink. Is that better? But it is.
can I sit on your, can you
It's like
sit
a-
here in Hanover Square?
But you do it with the brown bag.
No, my co-op would
That's
not.
not allowed. Well, that's.
No, it's not allowed.
Maybe
but
not.
Don't worry.
They don't mess with you.
Or
They're not-
bench,
Can I join you on that?
anytime you want.
Do you have any updates?
No, pretty much.
Okay, but no alcohol service is not allowed by law to be consumed in any dining
going to talk to you about
at New York City outdoor seating areas of any establishment.
youth
Is
program.
outdoor
But y'all can talk later.
repetitive here? Could it just be any dining out in CC?
No, I
No,
think,
I
I
think we
think
wanna
you'll
say
have
it.
to say outdoor.
Dining out, yeah, I think so.
Even if it's not repetitive.
Yeah,
It is repetitively redundant, but sometimes you must.
Sometimes you must, that's right.
Okay,
It's for emphasis.
Francis, you had another?
Yeah, the whereas to avoid outdoor spaces being used for full scale, that sentence, I'd like to change, a restriction should be made and
In front of to avoid, a restriction should be made to start it out.
A
CB
restriction-
one believes restrictions should be made.
Everyone believes restrictions should be made to either limit stand-up.
No.
No.
No, we don't want it.
To avoid,
restriction should be made and take out to either stand up, but and require stand-up table.
Hold on.
No, 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 no,
CB
no.
one believes restrictions should be made to avoid outdoor spaces being used for full-scale stand-up bar spaces or
bar space,
bar space.
or to be used for private bar event spaces.
Okay, period.
But that, period. Now, wait, restrictions should be to either limit stand-up.
Yeah, no, you're
There
right.
is,
No,
no,
that's what I
no,
wanted
let's
to take
leave
at
it.
that.
So look what you wrote here.
So
Yeah.
now we're up on the board because after it says CB one believes restrictions should be made to avoid outdoor spaces being used for full-scale stand-up bar space. Nor
No, well, no, spare space, well, no, at that point, don't put a nor there.
And,
And
it should be and.
you don't want it to be used for the
And
full scale
required.
stand-up bar space
or
to be
to be
used.
private bar event.
Yeah, they gave you to say to be used again.
I want that, please, everybody, should be made to either limit stand-up areas or require tables and chairs. I want that in there. I
Okay,
don't-
okay.
That's standard table and chairs.
Require standard tables and chairs and an adequate level to make spaces for dining purposes only.
Okay.
Yes,
So, right, okay, but I think that you need a period after
spaces.
spaces. And maybe a comma between full scale and stand-up. Sorry.
Don't be.
Yeah, full scale, comma, stand-up bar space.
Yes,
Just because,
yes, yes.
Is
Okay.
there a dash between full and scale?
yeah, there is. I
Mhm.
didn't want to be a pest.
Or you could be a pest, it doesn't matter.
Let's be pesty.
You know, a dash, like a hyphen or a dash.
Any more, Francis?
No.
So could somebody,
Well, what about online? Is
anybody have a question online?
Okay.
Okay, can Tricia call the one and call the question?
Tricia, you call the question?
I did.
Second?
Awesome. So this one, we're gonna go by a vote of affirmation again. So are there any no's? Are there any no's online? Seeing none, are there any abstentions?
Kay abstains.
I'm like, did you forget who you were? Okay, all right, any abstains, no problem. Are there any recusals? None. Okay. Zelda, are you voting on this? If so, you gotta turn your camera on to vote.
Stepped away.
Andrew?
Stepped away.
Yes.
You need to turn your camera on briefly to vote, so just need to see your smiling face. And if you're a yes, or anything else.
So Zelter, yes.
Okay, moving on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, really. All the
Committee
comments.
reports. Who feels like they need to go first on Tuesday?
No, but I think that Alice and I are gonna be long.
So we should probably put the two of you up front to get all the really big stuff done first. And then licensing ends up, or,
Last.
yeah, because I'm exec and I'll go and.
I don't, we're all right, I think we're okay.
We're okay?
Yeah, and we've got this, we'll do the report on it, Francis and I, that's fine.
So I think that with that, bylaws are gonna push back to September.
Good.
Does anybody have anything else?
I think the street fair, we can have a meeting this month. I'd like to have another update from Joe in September. If possible, yeah.
Yep, that'd be great.
And I know it could be holidays,
Very civil.
Labor Day,
Yeah.
executive, something.
It does mess it up somewhat, but not terribly.
Okay, so maybe,
Yeah.
Thank you.
we'll confirm in August.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for being here. My hope is not to see you all in August. I will promise, no offense intended. I will promise you a couple things. There's a lot of fun events coming up. The Bathroom Public Working Group is going to have a meeting at the end of the month. There'll be some get-togethers and things like that. I hope to see you all out and about the community. If we get more revocable consent for roadbed and outdoor, I will have to host an executive meeting in August. My goal is not to, but I do not control the DOT.
Yeah.
So to the best of our abilities, we'll try and work with what we get. We do know that there are 13 more applications in our district, and the deadline's not up yet.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah.
Good and bad. Well, it's good and bad. It's good that the deadline's not up yet.
So my goal would be to be before August 9th or after the, well, let me look at
I
that.
can't do before August.
Yeah.
Right, so, so maybe Alice runs it. It either has to be before the 9th or it has to be after the 16th for me to be in town.
After the 16th is fine by
The week
me.
of the 19th and the week of the 20th.
No, I'm gonna.
Yeah, the week of the 19th and the week of the 26th.
Yeah.
So do me a favor, just send me notes, so I just need to be able to get a quorum. And if it's not gonna be you, ideally with our bylaws, whoever the chair appoints as the proxy to serve on exec can go.
Okay.
I think it says, I think we changed it so it's not just chairs and co-chairs, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everybody.
See people Monday
Night.
or Tuesday at full board. Thank you and good night.
I will be,
Late.
late.